All right. Sue, are we recording?
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks. Oh, just got the notice. All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's public hearing. My name is Linus Kafka. I'm one of the zoning examiners for the city of Tucson. We have one case scheduled for the public hearing tonight. That case is TPENT 0626000012, the Church Steeple, South Midvale Park Road. To avoid any unnecessary noise or interruptions, please make sure your microphones are muted except when you're speaking. As zoning examiner, I conduct rezoning and special exception hearings on behalf of the mayor and council and make findings of fact, which I put into a written report um, along with a recommendation in the case of a rezoning, which I send to the mayor and council for their consideration and their final decision. Um, Unless it's a zoning examiner special exception case, in which case I will write a final report. And that is the case for tonight. My report will be based on the information submitted to me, which includes the application, the staff report, all written approvals and protests, all correspondence and testimony given at the public hearing this evening. I'll also include in the record all documents submitted to me up to the close of the public hearing. Tonight's proceedings are being recorded. When I call on you to testify, please speak clearly into your microphone and begin your testimony by stating your name and address. As I mentioned, we have just the one hearing tonight. For that hearing, I will write a final recommendation to the mayor and council within 5 days after I close the public hearing. If you'd like to receive a copy of any of my recommendations or reports and you're not listed as a party on one of the cases or on the particular case you want to see, you can send an email to the Development Services Department or check their website because copies will also be available on the website. All of these reports, my recommendation on special exception, my final report will be sent to mayor and council at the scheduled public hearing on each of these, for the scheduled public hearing on each of the cases. Here's how each of today's or tonight's public hearings are going to proceed. I'm going to revise that script so that it's clearer on special exceptions. So the order of tonight's hearing is first we'll have Planning and Development Services give a brief presentation of the case. I believe tonight's presentation by staff will be by Mr. Slater. Is that correct? Yeah. Then I'll ask the applicant, Mr. Call, to give a presentation. I'll then open it up to anyone else who'd like to be heard. And then after the public testimony, I'll offer the applicant or the consultant for the applicant the opportunity to address any points for clarification. I'll then close the public hearing for this case. So with that, I'm going to open the public hearing in case TPENT 0626000012, Church Steeple South Midvale Park Road. And note for the record that I have received the Design Review Board recommendation, as well as the letter from the Midvale Park Neighborhood Association president. With that, Mr. Slater, would you like to give your presentation?
Thank you. So it's a special exception land use in the O3 zone by Bruce Call on behalf of the Church of LDS. It's for the it's a height special exception for ornamental elements of a building. By right, you can go 10 feet above the maximum height of a zone for an ornamental element. If you want to exceed that by any amount, that requires a zoning examiner special exception. In this case, the maximum height in the O3 zone where this is located is 40 feet. The applicant wants to propose a 67-foot steeple element on the church, which exceeds that 10-foot allowance by 17 feet. The subdivision plats for the surrounding neighborhood identify this as a church, and the area plan identifies this as long-term plan for office. Church is allowed use in the office zone, and this on those subdivision plats, it was already, although it's not part of the subdivisions, was designated for religious use. The Use-specific standard requiring a setback from the property line, an additional foot for every foot over that 10-foot allowance is being met. I think they would require something like a 27-foot setback. The building itself is set back 40 feet from Midvale Park Road, so that standard is being met. As you mentioned, the design review board met on this case last Friday, and after some discussion and a presentation by the applicant, made a motion to approve the design as presented. The only condition is just a condition limiting the maximum height of the ornamental element to 67 feet. We received the one letter of approval from the Midvale Park soon Neighborhood Association. I don't think they have an HOA, but those folks, it's subject to compliance with the performance criteria for the building height exception and the recommended condition. Staff recommends approval of the special exception request.
All right, thank you, Mr. Call.
Thank you, and I appreciate the presentation by Gabriel Slater. I would like to show some documents, probably many of which you may have already included in the packet, but this will allow for an understanding of all those who are participating. Did the sharing come through here as expected? Can you see okay? Okay, this is an oblique aerial photo showing the entire surrounding area and the building on the site the way that it is currently proposed. I would mention that the landscaping here is not intended to be a detailed approach to the landscaping. Rather, it's just going to show that we've got a bunch of trees planned, and there'll be other landscaping as well, but that's part of a different procedure as part of the development plan. The elevation, the front elevation of the church is shown here. In this, you can see by contrast what it is that's right across the street, where there are some high tension electrical power poles. And so they're contrasting the size so that you get a chance to see. And in the area, there are some poles that are about 110 feet tall. The steeple itself is 67 feet tall with a lightning rod on the top, which is just to protect it from lightning strikes. Here's the rendering of the anticipated appearance of the building. Then I have also another drawing here. This shows a side view, so you can see in context what it is that we're really talking about. That's shown with the oval in red is the portion of the steeple that we're requesting the exception for. You can see in contrast to what's happening on the site and what's happening just in general, that it is a very small impact. When we submitted photos of what's happening, of the view of this from the surrounding neighborhood, all of the homes, no matter where we stood on the streets, all of the homes blocked it, so we couldn't have seen any part of the building, even though we did a rendered approach, like you could see from the earlier photos and the earlier presentation of what was going to be there. We've met with the local people. We've had a on-site meeting. We have not had any voiced opposition at this point, and we respectfully request that the steeple be approved for this site, which has been anticipated and planned and platted as a church or religious use site for as long as the plat has been around. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And you're in agreement with the staff conditions and the DRB conditions?
Yes.
All right. At this time, I'll ask if there's anybody else who'd like to speak on this matter. I don't have any questions. It's pretty straightforward. And if there's nobody in the audience who has any comments, then and I have the DRB report and the letter from the from the neighborhood association entered into the record, then I'll close the public hearing in this matter. So I hereby close TPENT 0626000012. And I'll issue my report within 5 business days. All right, thank you, everybody.
I have a question, because I don't quite understand the whole process. My understanding was that for a zoning exception like this, that it doesn't go to city council, that you're the one who makes that call. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, the preamble that I was saying, I tried to clarify that this is a special exception zoning examiner hearing, not a special exception mayor and council type hearing. So the zoning examiner special exception hearing, I draft the decision. I then submit that. Technically, that could be appealed to mayor and council, but it's a final decision unless appealed.
Thank you very much. Is it out of line for me to ask how you're thinking?
I don't think you need to.
Okay.
All right.
I
I
suspect
see we
you're
had
right.
somebody just joined the meeting. Just a phone number listed.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Hi, this is Vanessa Tyree.
Was it Harding? Harding?
Tyree, Tyreee.
Tyrae.
Eaton, that's double E.
Oh, double E.
Uh-huh.
If you wish to speak on the matter of the church steeple, I'm going to have to reopen the public hearing because I literally just closed the public hearing as you entered the chat. Do you wish to
I
speak
have been
on?
on it for, yes.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
All right. I'll reopen the public hearing just so that you can have your comments.
Oh, appreciate it.
All right. I'm going to reopen case number TPENT 0626-00012 in Midvale, the church steeple Midvale Park case. And I'm going to invite the speaker to the virtual podium, but I'm going to swear you in if that's okay, if you'd like to speak. And it's just like the swearing in court. I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand and say, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, thank you. And then I'm going to ask you to spell your name for me.
Vanessa, VANESSA,
Oh,
Tyree,
Yep.
with me.
Yes.
TYREE.
Vanessa Tyree.
Yes.
All right. And what's your address?
1483 West Kirkwell, one word, Place.
Okay. And you wish to speak this evening on the proposed steeple in Midvale Park. Is that correct?
If it becomes necessary, yes.
Well, we had a presentation from the applicant describing the steeple special exception request, which is to go to a 67-foot height. And that is basically the complete nature of the request. Do you have something that you'd like to say in relation to the height or the process?
Probably more of the process. I'm sorry, I joined a few minutes late, but if they had a presentation, I missed that.
Yes, there was a presentation. I'll have Mr. Call just put his images back up on the screen. Hopefully you're able to see that. I see that you're dialing in from a phone, so you may not be able to see them on your phone. but if you are, I'll have him just put those images back up.
Yeah, when I went online and typed in the web address to send the letter, it
Okay.
didn't come up. It did not come up. So I'll
Okay.
try again as you're doing what you're doing.
All right. Well, you just tell me what your thoughts are. And then I'll, if necessary, I'll ask Mr. Call to see if he can address those.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so go ahead and tell me what your thoughts are on that special exception request.
Okay, as I stated, I said I missed the presentation, so I don't have a statement at this particular time.
Okay. Do you have any concerns about the height of the steeple?
I'm looking at how high is the proposal for the height?
The proposed height is 67 feet. And Mr. Call, if you have your images, and if you're able to access the website, you'll probably be able to see in the application, there's a picture of the proposed steeple.
Okay,
And-
I'm typing
and-
it down.
And then there's a comparison of the steeple height to the power poles that are adjacent across the street. So there's two images. One that shows the essentially the percentage of the building that the steeple would represent, and the other is the sort of a comparison of the height to nearby structures. Is that a fair representation, Mr. Call?
It is.
All right.
Okay, I'm typing to get in online now. You can go ahead and resume. I'm trying to type in to get online, so go ahead, please.
Oh, I'm having a little trouble hearing you.
I said I'm trying to type to get on site, but go ahead and resume, please.
Well, we're finished other than what you have to say.
Okay, well, for my clarity, do y'all have a summary of what was stated and concerns?
Yeah, well, in summary, if you're able to access the application, Mr. Call summarized that application, and essentially it's what I've just described. There's a request that the height limitation be changed to allow additional height just for the steeple to exceed what would otherwise be allowed under the zoning, to go up to 67 feet. And from, what's the current limit? Is 50?
Yeah, the limit with the ornamental exception would be 50 feet. So this
50.
is an increase of 17 feet over what would normally be allowed by right.
So the request is to go over
What's
the,
purpose of having a steeple being that height? Why would it need to be that height, a steeple?
okay, so that's your question, is that you'd like to know why a steeple would like to be that high.
What's the rationale why it has to be so high?
And so your concern is that you feel that it is higher than it needs to be.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Tyree. I'm going to now just allow Mr. Call to comment on his general thoughts on the steeple height and the reasoning for the request.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ms. Tyree, are you able to see any of these exhibits?
I'm still typing in. I'm on committee.
I think once you see them, it'll be self-evident because in order for a steeple to look like a steeple, it needs to have some elevation to it. And in contrast with,
No, let me stop you, Miss Tyree, Miss Tyree, Miss Tyree, I apologize. This is a public hearing, not a public
Correct, I got that.
meeting, and that means that it's not a conversation. I'm asking for people to testify, and that's one at a time. People talk. It's not a conversation and back and forth. I'm going to allow Mr. Call to make his comment. If you have something that you'd like to ask after that.
Okay,
Wow.
that's fair.
All right. And then let me ask you this, do you have an email address?
I do.
Okay, can you provide your email address? And we'll try to send you right now the link to the application.
Okay, it's V is in Victor, L is in Larry, T is in Tom, Y is in yellow, R is in Rick, Edward at CenturyLink, one word, .net.
Okay. So you may receive an email from Sue
Linus,
Montes.
did you get that? I didn't get that. Can you repeat the email to me, Linus?
Yes, it's VLT. So like Vanessa, L as in Linus, TYREE at CenturyLink.net.
I just sent the web packet.
Okay. So Ms. Tyree, you should be getting a copy
Thank you,
of the
Gabriel.
documents. And then
Okay.
Mr. Call is going to resume speaking. I don't want you to interrupt him. When he's done, he'll let us know, and then I'll call on you to testify. This is not just because it's a public hearing and it's we need kind of a controlled environment of speaking. It keeps the record very clean because we're recording this and we need to have one person speaking at a time so that we have a clean record. Is that that makes sense to you?
Yes, I have the memorandum open now. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. All right, Mr. Call, please continue.
yeah, I would call to your attention in the packet, the drawing that shows the preliminary rendered front elevation. That shows the steeple as it relates to the building. And it is very easy to see that if you cut off the 17 feet we're requesting, it ceases to be a steeple. And the image of the church ceases to be a church image. So the steeple is an architectural feature that allows it to be identified as a church. And if we go to the next drawing in your packet that shows from the side view the building, you'll see with a little red oval portion of the building and of the steeple that is requesting the variance, the exception. You'll notice it's a very small portion. It tapers to almost zero at the very top. And at the bottom, where the bottom of the oval, it's only a couple of feet wide. And so the impact is almost negligible in contrast to what it is that's happening around. When you're looking at the building, it will clearly look like a church, and it will not have a negative impact on any of the neighbors or any of the area. That's all that I would have to say with respect to the question raised.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Call. Do you have any final comments to say on that issue, Ms. Tyree?
Yes. Is there a particular denomination that this church steeple is being built for?
My understanding is this is a Mormon church. Is that correct, Mr. Call?
That is correct.
I'm not sure it's a relevant question, but that is my understanding that that's the denomination. Yeah.
Let me clarify,
Go ahead, Mr. Call.
the formal name of the church is the Church
The
of
Church of-
Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Mormon Church is kind of a nickname, but it's often referenced that way.
Thank you. I apologize for that, and thank you for clarifying. Ms. Tyree, is that
Thank you.
all right? I reopened the public hearing so that Ms. Tyree could ask some questions and make some comments. I will just summarize her expressed concern over the height of the steeple and her question as to why it needs to be that height, and summarize Mr. Call's response as to the architectural necessity of the building reading as a religious institution through the use of the steeple. And let me just ask, Ms. Tyree, are you in Midvale Park?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you. All right. Okay. With that, I'm now going to once again close the public hearing in case number TP ENT 0626000012. The Steeple Midvale Park special exception. Ms. Tyree, would you like us to add your email to the distribution list for the copy of my report?
Yes, thank you.
Sure. All right. With that, the public hearing is now closed. Thank you all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Good night.